After excavating and compacting, the next activity is grading and then finishing. So grading is basically the process of bringing the earthwork to the desired shape or elevation or grade. And then follow finish grading or finishing involve smoothing the slope, shaping ditches, and bringing the earthwork to the elevation required by the plan and specification specified by engineers. So with that in mind, we have also other term. It's balancing and trimming. So what is balancing? Balancing is basically the process that cutting down the high spot and filling in the low spot in each roadway layer. So we have a balance slope, and then trimming is the process of bringing each roadway layer to its final grade. So that trimming, so that balancing and trimming typically apply in highway construction. And of course, after grading and finish grading, we also have the other process, just like maintaining shortening to maintain slope. So that will not be discussed in this class. So now we just talking about the grading and finishing for now. And one of the equipment typically used for grading and finishing, that is a grader. Okay, so that is one of the most item used in highway construction. And you can see that grader here. So it follow after compaction grade, and you see that it make it desired slope per specification in there. How to determine the grader production? That is the topic we focus in this lesson video, and that I'm going to write down now. Grader production. And it measure in terms of how much time needed for a grader to finish the work as specified. So time, and it in terms of hours, and the equation equal to sum of all the number of passes times the section length and measure in mile, and then we divide by the average speed for section of the grader for section, and speed measured by mile per hour. And of course we will time the efficiency, in this case divide by 1 over efficiency. And the question becomes why we normally with time, because that is production, but here we determine the time, so we have to divide the efficiency, not time efficiency. And how to determine the typical grade operating speed, and that go to typical grader operating. If the problem not given, so you go to table 5.6, and I'm going to show here. This is the typical grader operating speed, and it depends on the operation: bank sloping, ditching, finishing, road maintenance, mixing, snow removal, not here in Florida, spreading, and measure mile per hour or kilometer per hour, and that we can use if the problem don't give us. So let that apply to the problem 3. 15 miles of gravel, so that is the section length required for reshaping and leveling, so that need a grader. You estimate that the 6 passes of the motor grader will be required. 6 passes of motor grader required. Based on the operator skill, machine characteristics, and job condition, you estimate 2 passes of 4 miles per hour, 2 passes for 5 miles per hour, and 2 passes for 6 miles per hour. So the speed can be specified with to maintain the requirement for the level, the slope of this grade. The job efficiency is 80%. How many grader hours will be required for the job? So we just apply the equation in there. How much time needed to do this job? And that question become time. In terms of hours, how many hours I need for this grader on this job site with the section is 15 miles. Equation sum. So sum for each section, so that you see number of passes times section length, number of passes. The 2 passes 4 miles per hour. So we have 2 passes, number of passes times section length, 15 miles, divided by the average speed for that section. The first 2 passes 4 miles per hour. We sum up, so we add the next one, 2 passes for the section length 15 miles per hour with the average speed 5 miles per hour. And then we have 2 passes time section length, so that is distance, and you can see time equal to distance divided by velocity by the speed, that basically 6. And because we have 2 passes 4 miles per hour, 2 passes 5 miles per hour, 2 passes for 6 miles per hour, so that is the total time needed to do. But in efficiency, only 80%, some machine downtime, operator, etc. And because of time, so we have to time with not efficiency divided by efficiency, 0.8%. So from that one, we get 80%, basically 50 minutes per hour. So you get 22.2 hours. So to finish this grading for this grader with that specified number of passes and speed, we need almost 24 hours, 22.2 hours, 1 full day or 3 shifts.